Hello, everybody. Welcome to Late Night Gaming, episode number 27 of 27. Really, I don't really know why I said that, but we are here to talk about some video games and do some fun stuff like that. To kind of get an idea of what's going on, we're going to be talking a little bit about the game called Remember Me. It came out a little bit in the past, about a year ago, along with Tesla Effect. We're going to talk about those two games. And then I got some news and some changes that are going to be happening to the show. Some sad, some good, some bad. We'll see what happens, but stay tuned, and you guys will find out just as much as or just as quickly as I do, because I'm experimenting and doing some new things here with some new people, and hopefully everything works out and we get a better show because of it. I am always down and there for doing new show stuff and new ideas and new content and new ways of getting you guys just better stuff from the late night gaming brand, if you will. A couple of different things is I got a friend of mine who's actually going to be hopefully coming on the show and talking with us and chatting with us about some of the games. He's got a lot of Xbox One, Xbox Live experience. He's got a lot of just Steam game. He's kind of like my indie guru, if you will. For a while I held that title, but I think if anything, he's probably the guy to talk to. If you want to play a game that's just a single player game that doesn't really have a whole lot of multiplayer aspect to it, except for like GTA type stuff, those types of things, those closed, not MMO styles, but he's really into those types of games. So we'll be giving him some airtime probably next week, is I think when we're going to set that all up. We're going to probably hopefully iron out all the details this week and figure out how we're going to do it. We are going to be bringing some different stuff to that. Different style of stuff, I should say. And yeah, so we're going to go on and we're going to talk about Tesla Effect. The full name being Tesla Effect, a Tex Murphy Adventure. And this game kind of caught my eye because it reminded me very much so of a lot of the games that I used to play when I was younger, but without the FMV feel, full motion video, for those who don't know what that is. It's essentially taking Roger Rabbit and making a video game with the same style. You got real people, real things in a video game atmosphere, and you're able to play a specific character, if you will. In this case, it'll be Tex Murphy. It was developed by Big Finish Games, published by Atlus. Designers were Chris Jones and Aaron Connors. The series is the Tex Murphy series, built on the Unity engine. On the platforms, we've got the Windows, we've got the OS X, we've got the Linuxes. And this one is actually the newer of the two games. This one released on May 7th of this year, 2014. Genre is adventure and the single player game, and it's a download only distribution. There is no disc to this. There is no collector's edition or anything like this. This is the sixth game in the Tex Murphy series of detector adventure games, developed by Big Finish Games and published by Atlus. Like the previous games, it tells a story of live action motion, full motion video sequences, and a fully explorable 3D universe. So this is really cool. I want to say it's been done before, because it probably has. I mean, this isn't new groundbreaking stuff. It's just done really well. Gameplay in this is Tesla's Effect is described very similar to Under a Killing Moon, the Pandora Directive, and Tex Murphy Overseer. That kind of 3D immersive logic game puzzle thing like that. You navigate the 3D environments in the first person, searching for clues and using inventory items. So, just your average first person. You are the eyes. You don't have a third person view like you would in, say, Grand Theft Auto or any other third person view game like Skyrim has a first and third person view. This is just that first person view. So logic puzzles and branching conversations. So I've always had fun playing branching conversation games. It's probably one of the reasons that I've really liked Mass Effect. It's probably one of the reasons why I really enjoyed playing, um, Soul Suspect and things like that. Not that that was a very big branching thing. If you've ever seen a branch of a conversation, um, look at one. Look one up. Look up the Mass Effect branches. They start at a very simple conversation like, "Hi, how are you?" Well, "Hi, how are you?" has four different types of responses. So now you've got one response, you got one question, four responses. Under each one of those responses, you have what the first person, the person you're talking to, is going to respond back because it's a two-way conversation, right? So now you've got four responses to each of the, or one response to each of those four responses. So now you've got a straight bridge. Now to each one of those responses, you've got four more responses. Now, they don't have to be unique responses. They can be circled around responses. They can be closed loop responses. Or they can be this long branching response. So these types of voice actings and narratives, they can go very, very long and very expansive. So you can give you a very deep storyline if you're really looking for that. Like in the Pandora Detective, and I'm assuming that a lot of people haven't played this because this isn't really a known game. I actually, the two games I think I found on Steam, kind of just browsing for stuff to play because there's a big sale going on right now. There's about 10, 15 games that are up to 90% off. So good stuff. Um, it features narrative pathing is where I was going with that. So the Pandora Directive is narrative pathing where the player chooses an effect and the story and an ending. So it's they kind of truncated a storyline through those big branches that they can get. So the plot in this one is Tesla Effect begins 2050, 7 years after Tex and his love interest Chelsea Bando were attacked at the end of Tex Murphy Overseer. At the end of that, I kind of saw it on YouTube. You're attacked by something, you don't really know what it is. It's just there, and they take it just kind of cuts at that end. The story starts as Tex suddenly awakens disoriented at his office in the Ritz Hotel with strange markings and signs of violence on his body and no memory of the past 7 years. So you've got an expansive 7 years to kind of talk about this, kind of get an idea of what's going on and all that other fun stuff. He then discovers that Chelsea has been missing ever since the attack. So for 7 years, this woman's been missing. She's presumed dead, obviously. Like, could she be alive? Twist, plot thickens. Who knows? He set out to find out what happened to him, what became of Chelsea, and to regain the past memories of the last 7 years. In doing so, he uncovers a web of intriguing involving murders, double crosses, and lost inventions of Nikola Tesla. Apparently, the FBI swooped in, stole the Tesla cache, which had all of his really amazing things that we never knew about. Essentially, Tesla created a way to power the entirety of Colorado for free. His inventions were that good that we could power the whole of Colorado for essentially free. And if expanded and created better on the entire United States and eventually the world, all for free. So Tesla, if you're not familiar with Tesla, Nikola Tesla, look him up. It's definitely worth reading because he was an extremely smart guy. Anyway, from what I've seen, what I've read, what I've dabbled in, the game's about $20 on Steam. I think that the game might be worth buying $20 for, just because of the immersive storyline. If you're into that, now obviously, if you're a first-person shooter and action RPG kind of person, this is not the game for you. This is a puzzle game. This is a game with narrative. This is a game with rich storyline that you're going to listen to and follow along with, and probably have large breaks in between while you're trying to figure out puzzles. I remember some games I would play for 2 and 3 days trying to figure out puzzles. So Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you do buy the game, if you do play the game, or if you have played this game, please let me know what you think in the comments below. It'll help other people, find out, hey, is this game for me? Is this something I can get into? I want a change of pace. Is this a change of pace that I want to go in that direction? I'm coming from Halo. Do I want to play Tesla Effect? Probably not. Probably not. I'm going to go with that. The next game up on the chopping block. And I say chopping block because this game is older. It's got a history. I have not read any comments. I don't like to read comments on the games that I'm about to talk about because I like to go and read or look at the videos and the gameplay, and I make a sound decision based on what I think the game is, how I think the game is playing, and all that other fun stuff. So, that being said, Remember Me is a much, 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 much more in-depth game, believe it or not, as far as gameplay, organization, backstory, and stuff like that. So let me give you the rundown of the characters. Developers are the Don't Nod Entertainment. Publisher was Capcom. This one was developed or directed by Jean Max Morris. Produced by Nicholas Simeon. Designers were Philip Morio, Mark Pestek, Pestica. Sorry. Programmers Jerome Banal. Artists were Alexei Bricklot. Alexei Bricklot actually did a lot of the cards for Magic the Gathering. If you haven't seen some of those, look, he's an amazing artist. I love his artistry, and it really does show in this game if you haven't seen anything. Another one of the artists is Michael Koch. I believe he is also a Magic the Gathering artist as well. Writers are Alien Damison and Stefan. It has a little tick above the E, so I'm assuming it's Stefan. Bevigier. Composers are Olivier Deriver. It was done on the Unreal Engine 3. Platform is Windows, PlayStation 3, and Xbox 360. And because I still have a 360, my 360 is actually sitting right underneath my one, because I have tons of games for the 360 that I'm still playing that I still liked. Release dates back in June 2013. Genre action adventure mode single player distribution. You could actually have bought the games. Game was actually released on disc through Capcom. A little bit more about the game. Remember Me is an action adventure video game developed by Nod. The game's plot focuses on Nilin, Nilin, a memory hunter from an underground resistance called Errorists. When the game starts, she has been stripped nearly of all of her memories by Mega Corporation Memorize. With the help of a mysterious man named Edge, she goes on a quest to bring down, memorize, and recover her memories. She is not only a memory thief, she is the memory thief. They send her out to manipulate memories, which nobody else should be able to do. And a lot of it is playing God here, manipulating people's past so that you can dictate what they do in the future. Really scary stuff, because a lot of the documentaries that I've been watching lately are talking about just that, manipulating people in the sense that you can control what they might buy next or what they might do next. There's been tons and tons of talk of Facebook doing that to people, of Google doing that to people, where they're going to manipulate you or manipulate the system so that you will buy or click on or go to the next product. So this game's kind of, I think, a play on that. Gameplay of this game features a lot of platforming. You're going to be exploring levels and exploration, melee combat. I didn't see a single weapon in any of the videos that I watched, so it was really reminiscent or recognizant. No, wrong words. Really reminded me a lot, I should say, of Mirror's Edge, and I can't wait for Mirror's Edge 2. So. The game introduces mechanics of memory remixing. Like I said, she is the best memory thief out there, and entering and rearranging the target's memories to manipulate them and how they're going to react and what they're going to do next. And for instance, you could play on emotions. So for instance, Many people are afraid of dogs because of a childhood experience. You give somebody a childhood experience, you can manipulate them into not liking to be around dogs, and then surround yourself in like a dog kennel. They'll never go in there. They'll never look for you because they're afraid of dogs. It's kind of how I see that going. The game introduces something else that I thought was pretty cool, and I guess it's not really an introduction. It's more of a spin-off, and that's creating your own combo system. So before I go too far into that, let me kind of continue on where I left off there. Your whole goal is to accomplish um, by replaying a memory and modifying the details to change the target's recollection of the outcome. Again, just manipulation of emotion, manipulation of ideas, manipulation of just human psyche, if you will. So you're also stealing memories from people as well. So think of it as I have a memory of a bank account number somewhere, and you come up and I was sleeping, or I was putting into a trance or something like that, and you could steal that memory from me. Not only could you tell me what bank account it was, when I started it, and all that other fun stuff that I would have to know in order to get in that bank account, you could do whatever you wanted. The world's most influential people can be swayed by the memories. So, really scary idea here. Um, Using points, but you could steal memories, and these points are called rememberings, and you can replay them in real time. This is often needed to proceed through the game and avoid hazards otherwise hidden from you. So you could steal somebody, steal one of their memories, use it as a remembrance, and know that they set up a trap for you. That they're planning to set up a heist, or I'm sorry, not a heist, but kind of a road trap or something like that. So, in terms of combat, the game allows players to create and customize their own moves. So that's where I was going with this. You can customize and create your own combos in the Combo Lab. Now, I'm sure they made it so that you can't just sit there and slap B, 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 and do these awesome combos. I'm sure you'd have to memorize combo keys, and certain ideas and certain buttons do certain things, and if you pin those together, you'll unlock combos, and you'll be able to essentially make your own. Sorry about that. Essentially make your own. Um, Using 4 different fighting moves called presents, the player can really reorganize any chain that they have, or add on or take away from a specific chain, um, through gaining something called PMP, which is Procedural Mastering Power, with a limit of 4 combos being active at any one time. So you can create and customize as many combos as you want. You only have 4 active at one time on the character. The 4 presence families are Regen, which is healing, Power, which is damage, Chain, which duplication and doubling of previous moves, and Cooldown. So you could probably create something that cooldown, is regeneration of S presence energy. So you could probably create this super sick like cooldown, regen, powered chain idea where you cool down your presence, which then allows you to heal, then damage, and just create this long, massive like breaking the chain. I'm sure there's a way to break this game, but I'm sure they didn't make it easy either. The game's creative director, Jean-Max Morris, has said that there are over 50,000 different combinations. So they don't even really know the exact number of combos. I'm sure they have it written down somewhere. And I'm sure 1 or 2 of them, if you combine them together in the right way, will break the game. I could just see this game being broken quickly. And if it hasn't been, what are we waiting for? Why haven't we tried? The special moves, or S presents, are made available to the player through. I don't know what's going on right now, but I got the yawns, and I really do apologize. Are made available through the player to the player through the course of the games. The moves enable them to do things like stun groups of enemies, move at high speeds, and land more hits. Also turning hostile robots into allies, which then self-destruct. So you could like kind of hack into the universe here. One of the things that, for whatever reason, I guess I didn't put in my notes, this game actually takes place in Neo Paris in 2083. So it's kind of a post-apocalyptic world after the company Memorize has taken over. Kind of there's slums and things to that nature where it's not a very nice place to really be. But anyway, I digress. Back into where I left off. The last thing is the players are also going to have some access to projectile based weapons like the spammer and junk bolt. They really didn't go. I haven't really looked into those too deeply. I'm sure that they're going to be really cool. I don't, like I said, I didn't see any like guns in the game, but I'm sure these kind of are exactly what they sound like. Uh, some sort of gun of some sort. So this game, I'm actually, even though it's a year old, I'm actually really interested in getting. I kind of want this game just so I can kind of play through it. So I would spend the money. This one actually was on sale. I think it was like $7 or $8 on the Steam sale. It's good until the 17th, so hurry up and get on that. I don't know if it's gonna go back on sale again because it's the first time I've heard of this. So it's got a Paris theme behind it, and that's the sale right now. Is it's with love from Paris essentially, and they're giving you a whole bunch of Paris themed games that are going to go on sale up to 90% on Steam right now. That's where I found both of these games. That's where I find most of the games that I want to talk about, except for the up and coming titles, say on the Xbox One or the PlayStation 4. So that being said, on to the sad news. For those of you who like to come and watch these YouTube videos, I'm not going to be doing them in this format anymore. Yes, I know. It's a sad time. It's a very sad day. I'm going to be doing these more or less post-production. No more live videos, no more stumbling through, producing bad quality. I mean, there's been quite a few videos that I wish that if I didn't have such a mentality of saying, hey guys, I'm going to keep it up and I'm going to keep it real, I wish I could take some of them down because some of them were just really bad, and some of them were at some pretty bad times. Like I said, I'm not going to miss a video or an episode anymore ever again. My goal for the rest of this year and well into the next year is to produce a video once a week, whether it be a video of me recapping some PvP on that I captured on WildStar or recapping a video that I made for League of Legends or something like that. There will be a YouTube presence, I guess is what I'm saying. A lot of times it'll probably just be my episode put together to a moving track of images. I'm going to try and shrink these episodes down to about 15 minutes, talk about a couple of games or one or two games that I really want to get into, and just start posting up better quality videos on YouTube. And that's how I think I'm going to get my presence. The fans that I have right now on Google Plus on YouTube, the 5 and 6 of you and the couple hundred that come and watch the videos, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. You guys have been there. One big shout out to Ben. He's been there since the very beginning. One faithful guy that I've always had. Big shout out to him. I'm going to go back to doing post-recorded video or episodes, and I'm going to be putting them up on iTunes and on Stitcher and pretty much everywhere I can get my little greedy hands onto to start disseminating these audio clips out. I might be starting a new channel for the once a month or so videos that I do on YouTube that are recaps of PvP that I'm doing. I am going to be doing war plots soon, so if you don't know what war plots is, check them out. Go to wildstar-online.com. War plots are going to be 40-man versus 40-man PvP raids. Talk about city raids, right? So city raids, if you're not familiar, back in the days of World of Warcraft, you used to get together with about one or two raids, 40-man raids. So about 80 people, and you would just go storm an Alliance city until everything in there was dead. And the main boss would be the Stormwind or something like that. You would kill the main orc, or I'm sorry, the main It's been a while since I played WoW, but you'd kill the main boss, the main guy that's waiting in the city hall for you. If you went to Orgrimmar, you killed Hellscream, you know? So that's what essentially what you would do, but these you actually get to make your own fortresses. So by doing raids and doing veteran dungeons and stuff like that, you unlock different buildings, different pieces that you can build in the game, and you make it so that you have this fortress that will defend you, and you can defend, and you go warplot, 40 versus 40. I don't know that this is going to be TAFE. I'm not sure what TAFE means, my friend, but welcome, if that is your name. Welcome to the show. I am going to be doing war plots. I'm going to be doing some arenas, possibly 3v3. The goal is to get to about 2,200 before the end of the season. I'm hoping that they're going to let this first season go for a little bit of while they're working on getting all the fixes and stuff like that. I would hate for first season people to be like, oh my gosh, I was 1,800, 2,200 doing this, and go, well, I got that way because of this. One major thing, and I'm going to kind of go off on a little tangent here, people in WildStar have found an exploit. It's not meant to be this way, but what they're doing is they're getting boosted all the way up to 1,800 to 15 to 1,800. They're buying all the gear, and then they're losing games on purpose to go all the way back down to the 14, 13, 1,200 bracket where people start off. And then what they're doing is they're one-shotting and two-shotting these people because the gear at 1,800 is exceptionally powerful for PvP. WildStar is combating this by doing one of two things. They're putting a personal rating on there, and they're giving us a team rating. So if we start a team of 3v3, I can have that rating, and I can buy the gear with that rating. As long as my personal rating matches my team rating, I can buy that gear. Now, there's one of two things that I can see going wrong with this, is that League of Legends has something called rank, or what is it? It's clamping. It's rating clamping. If you have won 5 games in a row, they're going to start to diminish your points per win because you're winning too many games too fast, essentially. What happens at that point is it makes it really hard, for instance, to go to the next tier. So, for instance, you might go up against the 1,500 bracket, and there's going to be 10 people in the 1,500 bracket. Well, if you're one of those people that kind of struggled at the beginning and typically lost a lot of games, but then you won like 10 games in a row, typically that should give you enough points to go to 1,600. But what they would do is they'll put you right at about 1599 and they'll clamp you there. And they'll start giving you games that you either can't win to kind of knock your score down a little bit, so that your win-loss ratio will start to level out and become more like this, or your win ratio will start to outweigh your loss ratio so much that there's no choice but the system has to put you into the next tier. Again, the tier could be like 15 to 1,700, or 1,699, 17 to 1,999, 2 to 2 or 199. So that's that's kind of how it is. And TAFE, I guess is his name. Many people think Saudi Arabia is a desert country with extreme temperature throughout the year. Interesting, this beautiful country is not like that. The winters here are mild and beautiful. Fortunately, there are places in I don't know what you're getting at here. But like I was saying, if they do that, they have these brackets and they clamp, it's going to make people who are learning the system, who are trying to get their gear, less likely to progress into the next tier bracket. And that alone right there, makes me already kind of leery about doing PvP. I'm a competitive person. I love competition. I will always, always, always push myself into competition, try to make myself better. if I'm going to get clamped by the system, I'm going to be unhappy about that. And that's going to cause a problem for me because I don't want to feel stuck. Like I got stuck in League of Legends because I lost so many ranked games. And in League of Legends, the big difference is it's 5v5 versus 5v5 people, and it could be that there are 5 exceptionally better people on the other team versus yours, and that's why you lost. Or it could be a couple of poor decisions that you personally made, or a couple of poor decisions that somebody else made. There's a lot of things there when it comes to 5v5. So it's kind of hard to clamp that in such a way that if I lost 10 games and I won 5 in a row, that you're going to keep me in that bracket just because the system thinks that I got boosted or whatever, or I was missing that one piece of gear that just put my stats over the top to make me do that much. Tafe's historic Shubra Palace is seeing increased interest from visitors to promote. Okay, I'm not sure what you're getting at here. You're ruining my show, bud. I'm gonna have to ignore you unless you have a question about the show here. But what I was saying is one of the big things that I'm gonna end up doing here is I'm going to probably take some post-product stuff and turn it into some shorter clips. I'm going to still do a once a week show every Monday. There might be some video included in that. There might be some music clips. I want to get out into the community and get more community focused. So this is where I need help from anybody out there. If you see this video and you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Go to my Facebook page, facebook.com/LNGcast. Give me a like there. Go to my Twitch page, my Twitch page. Follow me there. You're gonna find that I'm gonna start using different outlets for different things. So, for instance, Twitch. Obviously, I'm going to be streaming. Hopefully, be streaming the war plots. My goal is to get a new computer. In the future, I can't put a date on that just because I've got a lot going on. I want to go to Seattle soon. Try and see out the games out there. So if you're in the Seattle area and you want to kick it, let me know. Hopefully we'll do some hangouts if I can get some good cell signal where I'm going to be going. I'll be doing maybe some hangouts on air, maybe a couple shows here and there. We'll announce them when we're about to do them. I will have a new guest coming on. I don't know if it's going to be a guest or a permanent fixture. His name is Jeff. He's a good friend of mine. Huge gamer, huge outdoors guy. So we might be doing some outdoor stuff that involves gaming. Who knows? One of the big goals that I have for the future is to put together kind of a convention / tournament where indie developers can come and show off their game, but the big draw is going to be the tournament. I ran this by a friend. I would say he's a friend, a little bit more than acquaintance. I've talked to him a few times. He found that funding would be the issue. Yes, I feel like that's going to be the major issue, and hopefully we can kind of piece something together. But I definitely want to put a tournament in there because that will drive funds. Because you bring your own equipment, you bring your own stuff. We got to rent out the stuff. You help us pay that all back. It's the upfront cash that's going to be the problem, and that's where donating comes in. So latenightgaming.net. If you donate on the site there, I don't take any of that money and spend it on a new hat or new glasses or anything like that. Maybe a new set of a microphone or replacement charger for my mixer so that I can get my quality microphone back. Maybe stuff like that. But what I'm saying is everything goes back into the podcast. Everything goes back into the show. Everything goes back into you guys. I want you guys to come to the show and get something from it. Maybe not stuff, maybe not like t-shirts and stuff like that, but actual quality stuff that's going on that you might not get somewhere else. And well, the goal is you won't get it somewhere else. That's why we're so good at what we do. So, like I said, we're gonna go back to pre-done, post-edited, more higher quality stuff, essentially. So, stay tuned. This, like I said, guys, this is my last live episode as late night gaming, I would say. I probably will be doing late night or live episodes elsewhere, maybe live events here and there. But we will be going and doing all of that fun stuff as well. So, like I said, if you liked it, if you like what's going on here, go to the social media stuff. Go to Twitter, follow me there at Unfit Games. Go to Facebook, follow me there. It's /LNGcast. +1 me on the Google Pluses. Anywhere you can find me, it's gonna help. It's gonna prove that I'm doing a good thing, and people are gonna, sponsors are gonna want to give you guys stuff. That's all there is to it. Without further ado, I'm going to sign off, ladies and gentlemen. My name has been Kevin Unfitz-Gaskowski. This has been the Glorious Beard. I'm sorry that y'all aren't going to be able to see it much longer, except for in pictures, because I will obviously be putting a lot of those up there. Lastly but not leastly, before I sign off, head over to latenightgaming.net. Check out the new interview I just posted up with Grant from Red Level Games. On his his RPG, I should say, called Dragon, because dragons are just so much better than anything else. Check it out. It's on Steam. It's in the Greenlight Project. It's also over at redlevelgames.com. You will be able to see at the website the interview plus the Steam link as well. Everything's over on the website. Check it out. latenightgaming.net. You guys, keep it frosty in this hot, hot weather. Enjoy your summer. You'll be hearing from me in any way, shape, and form. To keep knowing when we're going to be putting stuff up, you got to follow us on the at least Twitter, because that's where I post most of my stuff, is Twitter. So, guys, it's been great. It's been real. But the live video cast just isn't working out for us, and so now we're going to go back to just straight episodes. So enjoy, have fun, and peace out, guys.